Welcome to Road to Ironman with JG3 Fitness.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Road to Ironman with JG3 Fitness. You got Kyle, Lex, Carrie. She's not hyper this go around.
No.
You might want to check out YouTube to watch Carrie go a little crazy. Anyway, we are talking about aha moments. We were talking about missing Lex with Lex's aha moment.
All right, YouTube, I'm sorry. But I fucked up a couple weeks ago. I was swimming 3 days a week, which is doesn't seem excessive, but I think when you're not a swimmer at all, really, to like come into it and then do as many miles. I totaled up all my miles at some point. I forget what it was, and swim as much as I did definitely messed me up. So I haven't been in the pool for 2 weeks, and I was really freaking out about it, and up until like Monday, and then I was like, dude, I still have so much time. Done right at this moment, we still have over 3 months.
Yeah, I think
4 months. Do math for me. 3 months.
In July.
It's in July, and it's April.
May, June. Okay, 3 months.
It's 4:20 right now, so it's gonna be off. And I said, that's bullshit. And then I went to the store and knocked a whole bunch of shit off the rack because my coordination was up. And I had a very similar thing where I was like, we get so caught up in the goal, which we kind of moved up. And I think the worst thing that happened was we all signed up for the Glass City.
Yeah.
So we
dumb.
had
What was it?
we had this half marathon. It's going to end up being that if people fail, it's going to be because of the Glass City, because people are way too ahead of schedule. There are people that are running way too many miles, and I know you say that.
I'm not running.
Yeah.
You guys are the ones running.
But no, you got people that are, and we got so focused on a pace. It was, we have to be sub 9:05 miles.
I will give you that.
And we have to do this. So people would be like, literally like, I have to do 12 miles today, or I have to do 13 miles today, and all this. And it becomes, that's the single focus. It's not, hey, I got to do an Ironman in July. I have to get this done today. And when you're already thinking like that, your mind and body are not going to last that 15 weeks. So it almost became, I'm like, oh, this could go bad. But I've not gone over 5 miles.
I haven't done any more than 4, actually.
Yeah, and so I'm like, let's break down what the fuck I actually did this week. I swam 2,000 an hour, or how much can I get done? It's ultimately worse, but the goal is to be able to swim 750 continuous and bike 22 and then run a 5K by May 12th.
750, not
Yeah.
wait, 50.
No, 750.
Yep.
So,
Way ahead.
We're well ahead of that. I think you swam 2,500 yesterday. You haven't swam in a couple weeks. You swam what, 2,000?
1,500 yesterday, 1,000 the day before.
Okay, so 2,500. So both of those are over 750. And I'm not saying, I get when you're doing intervals, you got to do it a little different, but 750 continuous,
Yeah.
22 continuous, 5K continuous. The way I have the training program set up, it's not set up to say, we got to do all of this running, all of this biking, train you. One 60-mile bike ride is not going to help you on Saturday when we're doing a 26. Like, you have to be able, if you're really good at biking, that's awesome, but if you swim before it, you better still be good at biking. And that transition period is going to be the hardest part of what we do.
Yeah.
Like to swim, how do you feel after the swim? Can you replenish yourself, get on the bike?
Yeah.
Can you replenish yourself?
I'm
and
excited
run?
for those days that we have.
Transition.
To work on those transitions, because that's what's gonna keep you ahead of schedule, is being able to transition quickly. And so I think the fact that we're doing those on Sundays, and the fact that we have a set mileage to work up to, I think will help us long term.
Well, it's just I feel every program
consistent.
I've looked at, and I know I'm by no means a triathlon expert, but I think my endurance record kind of speaks for itself. understanding what your goal is. Our goal is a triathlon. You should practice triathlons.
Yeah.
If your goal is to do 24 hero workouts in 24 hours, you better get used to working out, resting, working out, resting, working out, resting. So I'm a big believer in practice what the fuck you're going to do. So in saying that, we're doing a completely different training style. And I might be the idiot here. Who knows? I might be wrong. But if you're not practicing what you do, if I'm just swimming 2,500, 3,000 yards, biking separately 60, 70, 80 miles, and running 13 to 15 miles, but I never pack them together, I'm not going to be as well prepared as someone that comes in and is practiced for fucking May 12th through July 28th, does 18 or 12 or however many fucking triathlons that is, and I know it's not 18, 12 triathlons in a row. It's not going to be foreign to me to jump off the swim, jump on a bike, and go. It's not going to be foreign for me to unclip, change my fucking shoes, and go.
Right.
But Friday swimming into Saturday biking into Sunday running is not the fucking same. I don't care who you are. Our fitness level, what we do for a living, here at JG3, we're very used to being sore as fuck going from one day to the next. And we can recover really quick. But can we recover from a 56-mile bike and go straight into a 13.1-mile run? I don't know. But if we practice it, I guarantee you give us 12 triathlons by the time we get on there, and like other people are going to be like, oh shit, I got to run now? And we're going to be like, oh, I'm used to this feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my personal goal is to not get sucked up in this progress thing, because that's what I did with the running. We started running, me and John started running back in January, and it was, all right, we're adding a mile, we're adding a mile, we're adding a mile. Next thing you know, we're doing 10, 12 miles, and I'm like, whoa. We have to run a fucking 5K by May 12th.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Glass City aside, I have no doubt I can go run a 13.1 mile run. But after that, are we mentally going to be able to back it down to a fucking 5K when our normal run now is me and Kyle did 5 miles on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to just back it down and that be our high-end run? Or is your ego going to take over and go, I got to keep building, I got to keep building, I got to keep building? And that's where shit goes wrong.
It's that fine line.
It's that fine
I
line.
agree 100%. But also, like you said, could be right, could be wrong. Them short distances are probably going to be better because it's going to be quality over quantity. But also, with that being said, the quantity thing is a mental for me. Yeah. Maybe not for everybody else.
Yeah.
No,
but
it
if
is.
I got,
Absolutely.
A 26 or 30 mile bike in a workout or try workout to where I'm mixing it all, and I already know that I've already hit that fresh, I'm not going to be fresh going into it after a swim. Yeah. But I know mentally I've already hit it. It's going to be a little bit easier.
Well, and I think that's where the programming, once you guys see the full programming, you guys might calm down. Right now, I just have those triathlon days. In reality, on your fresh day, say it's 22, your fresh day will be 26. So that's a back off. But right now, I'm not giving you that piece. I'm going, trust me, do a 750, do a 22, do a 5K. But when we get closer, you're always going to be, so say Sunday's the day we do a triathlon. And Carrie's going to be different because she's probably going to do her triathlons during the week. So break her out of that. But say the three of us are doing our triathlons on Saturday or Sunday, whatever day works for all of us. Okay, so we do that triathlon on Sunday. We do a workout or recovery day on Monday. Tuesday, let's say the second week it's going to be I don't remember what it is, 850 meter swim. On Tuesday, we're going to do a 1,500 meter swim. So now you're building up that endurance up there.
Right.
Okay. On Wednesday, it's now, instead of a 26-mile bike, it's a 30-mile bike. On Thursday, instead of a 5K, it's a 6-mile run. And then you take 2 days off, and then you hit the triathlon again. So I will build you up and then back you back down.
And that's the thing is thinking about exactly what you said. It's that quantity in your head. Something to remember is swim, bike, run. That's all we need to do. That's our workout. And the fact that we've done these 10-mile, 11-mile runs now, and then backing down. I'm okay. What else am I going to do now?
It
doesn't feel like it's as much. It doesn't feel like I've done enough. But really, we are doing enough.
Yeah, I ran 5 yesterday, and I literally finished, and I was like, holy fuck, 5 miles was easy.
Yeah, so what else am I going to do now?
Yeah,
But, like,
and then-
it's 5
Yeah,
miles!
and then you jump into that exactly. What else am I going to do? I want to squat. I want to do this. Second, slow the fuck down. I need to do a cardio a day and a cross training a day. So like yesterday would have been perfect. You swim, you bike, you run, and then you hit squats by JG3. That's a perfect cross train day. You're hitting strength, you're hitting some kind of accessory work, and you're hitting your cardio.
Yeah.
Where I struggle is when it's like Thursday is my favorite day at the gym. Like we do Tabatas, we move around, we do unconventional shit. Like that's become my day. It's become packed. I really enjoy that day. Finishing a 20-mile bike, let's say, and then doing that, that's where shit goes wrong because you already stretched your heart out for, say, 2 hours. And then you go and do another hour of high-end cardio and you're like, oh, now I feel like shit.
I learned that the hard way.
So, yeah, it's that picking and choosing your spots.
Yeah.
And understand we all still have goals outside Ironman, you know. So that's where we got to get smarter and come in and go, all right, maybe today I come in and say I'm Carrie and I want to make the CrossFit Masters online qualifier. I come in and instead of doing that Tabata, maybe I do a 10-minute EMOM of 5 ring muscle ups on the odd minutes and whatever skill we're working on. So you back down that intensity and make it purposeful skill work where you can still chase that goal, but you still hit this.
Yeah.
The problem is our mentality at everybody in this room is more and more and more and more and more.
I ran 4 miles before I came here on Monday.
Yeah.
My shoulder did something weird. And I was like, I didn't even get to work out today. And then I started laughing like later. I was like, I ran 4 miles already, you dumbass.
Yeah.
Like, you already worked out. It's fine.
Yeah, it's insane, and that's where I know I've had sidebars with almost everybody here. And frankly, I told Jason, I said, Jason, you might be the smartest one out of all of us. And he's like, what? And I'm like, you're the only one who literally goes, however I feel today, that's what I'm going to do. And he's not pushing it. He's like, well, I'm way off of you guys. I'm like, yeah, but you're the only one who's not dealing with some kind of nagging bullshit right now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like crap half the time. And it's all, and me and her had this conversation via text yesterday, it's all managing that demon inside your head that says, and I've been in her shoes and I still have, even though I'm giving her the advice, I have the same thoughts in my head was, fuck, I got a half marathon next week and I haven't ran over 5 miles in fucking 3 weeks. So even in saying this, I don't want people to think that I'm up here on my high horse saying this. I still am sitting here going, I'm fucked next week. Despite what I just said, I'm going, that shit's gonna hurt so bad next week because I'm not prepared for it. So we always have that demon in your head saying, you gotta do more, you gotta do more, you gotta do more.
You're insane.
I'm excited.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm ready. Like, that's
I'm
something
excited
I'm...
for you. I wish I was doing it with you, but
You know what's funny is I did the 5 mile run yesterday, and me and you had a text conversation. You were talking about nature.
Yeah.
Right before I ran, the rain stops. It's a fucking shitty, gloomy day, right?
Yeah.
I run out, no AirPods, didn't take my phone. I had no plan. I literally started my watch and said, wherever I feel like fucking turning, I'm gonna stop. So I ran down, and I basically did this big loop, a 5 mile loop, and I got on the course on Morrison on a 5K that I ran for brain cancer back when Joe was originally diagnosed, and I actually won that race. And I'm running, and I'm like, I didn't even look at my watch half the time, and I like turn the corner and wind right in my face on the course where I won the brain cancer 5K, and I'm going, Joe, you motherfucker. So me and Joe had about a mile where I literally was talking out loud. I probably looked crazy if there was anybody out there. I'm like, all right, Joe, this is how we're going to play. And it's like, we just sat there and I literally just talked to myself about, and I caught myself going, this is what the fuck I'm talking. The journey is the destination. Like I'm by myself, no music, no phone, not worried about pace. And I'm just sitting here having a conversation with my buddy going, all right, man, you gonna blow any harder than this? Or and then I turn the fucking corner and the wind dead stop. I'm like, that is weird.
Just no one got that beside me.
I was talking too much. I caught it after.
single mom getting blown by his buddy.
Exactly.
I was letting that go because I Joe.
I was trying to, but you just know how I am.
But the crazy thing was, I look afterwards, and I was holding an 8:25 pace. And it's like, I didn't worry about pace, I just ran. And I'm like, that was pretty cool to me, because I'm like, I get so caught up in what should my pace be? I just went and felt the pace. And I was like, oh, that's pretty crazy. So then I was like, all right, see, you're stressing about something that you're already capable of doing.
Yeah.
So just have fun with it. And it was crazy because I ended up being on the same course where I had my, I was making fun of Carrie about the wind, and then I almost quit, and all that other stuff. I ended up on that course. I started laughing at myself, like the tale of two runs. Like, you're out here, it's just as fucking windy. I didn't feel the wind. I was just enjoying myself. I was on a much faster pace, and I was like, oh, this is what's supposed to be fun. And in the gloomiest day where it's storming and it's typical Midwest weather, I'm looking around and I'm seeing deer running around. I'm like, this is what Lex was talking about.
That's exactly what
This
I
is
was talking about.
nature. We're out here, and I was by myself. It started raining, and then I got pissed, and I was like, I knew I should only ran 4.
Yeah, whatever.
But I ended up getting back, and it ended up being right at 5 miles, and I enjoyed that moment. And I know I caught myself on our 26-mile ride with John. We hit the bike trail, and John took the fuck off. And I caught myself trying to keep up. I wasn't enjoying myself. I wasn't running my race or riding my ride or whatever you want to say. I was now chasing John. And that's not how I want to spend the next 15 weeks. I don't want to get caught up into the who's doing what. I want to stay in my lane and worry about my own shit.
We had that conversation yesterday.
What
I said, I was like, because I see Carrie is like, oh, I did this many, I went this fast doing this pace, and I was like, okay, I just need to tell her, like, I'm competing with you in my head right now, and it's not good, and I don't mean to, but and then we just, like, talked about how, like, we're different, like, we have the same goal, but we're different, like,
it's natural human instinct to, we're all friends and we're all a team, doing this together, but it's natural to compete with each other. But
yeah.
I mean, and it's not even like competitive competing. It's more or less just fucking your mind because you think that you have to be at that same level as the other person, which in all reality you don't have to. No. There's an 8:30 time cap on everybody that does it, so and
So
we all have our own
was
reasons
that,
to do it.
It was the purpose of this is not to beat somebody. It's not to I gotta do this at this time.
No, because there's people that have
purpose,
been doing this that are gonna fuck us all up. Like
it's just a finish. It
Yeah.
was we signed up for
Exactly.
something for Joe as a team, and as a team we need to just push each other and build off of each other and motivate each other. Like use somebody else's strengths to like help you get there. Like you know what I mean? Like work together. And it's not. I mean, I was doing the same thing, and that's what I told him. Like I look at you guys like. You're up at like 4 o'clock every single day getting like so motivated up doing something. Like that's not me. That's not something that I'm just physically able to do. And so I look at that like, why am I not doing it? You're doing it, So we kept going on, and that's what I was telling you about. Like that I feel like I'm missing. Yeah. I'm missing the training because I see all the training that you guys do, and I'm like, Jay, I'm so far behind because I'm not able to go out and do all this training every single day like everybody.
Yeah, but I think that's the social media fitness aspect that I'm always talking about. You only see Lex's story is up or Lex's post is up for 24 hours. So you might see it on Tuesday when really it happened on Monday. And then you see it again on Wednesday. But in reality, there was a fucking 2-day gap before she did the next one. So you get caught in, oh my God, she's doing this every day. No, social media is up there for 24, Instagram stories 24 hours. Yeah. That legit happened on Monday, and then it happened again on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we all share, like, between us, like, this is what I did this, and
like holding each other accountable,
holding ourselves
and
it's like a good thing,
That's
what
it should be, is holding each other accountable,
yeah,
but we should not pace each other on. Yeah.
John's out riding a bike, and now he's out running, and then it's, well, I'm going to ride to the gym, and I'm doing this, and I'm like, oh, shit, like, I have to drive, I'm a kid, like, I'll be like, buddy, climb on back, we're going to pedal to the gym.
That's one thing, too, as similar as we all are, like, some of us are more... I don't want to use the word there's a word I don't want to use. Some of us are more, once we fucking start something, it's like tunnel vision, that's all we see is the end. Yep. And others, like you are super busy, you got fucking a million things going a million different ways. You don't get to take that tunnel vision. You have to focus on fucking everything. So.
But I think in saying that, you have to have tunnel vision on the task at hand.
Because when she gets on a bike, her ass is going to be on a bike for 20 miles, and it's going to
Don't leave shit on the table, as Magic Mike said last week. Like, be present in what you're doing. Yep. Like, I'm busy, Carrie's busy, we're all busy, but when it comes time to get on the bike, leave your shit outside of the bike. Like, that was the best part of my run yesterday. That's the first time I left my shit outside of there. I wasn't thinking about my throat. I wasn't thinking about work. I wasn't thinking about my kids, my wife. Like, be present in what you're doing. Like, after we finish this podcast, I'm going to go have family day, and I'm not going to think about training the rest of the fucking day.
That's so funny, because I literally thought of that during my swim yesterday. I thought of you saying it in Magic Mike, and I had the whole conversation in my head in the swim. Because I hit about $2,000, or close to $2,000, and I was like, man, I could call it quits right here. I was like, I fit 500, I could call it quits right here. I don't got to do that other 5. And I was like, if you fucking don't do that other
regret.
5, you're gonna, that regret.
Yeah,
I was like,
I
you're
felt
gonna
that.
get out of this pool, and the only reason you don't want to do it is because time. And I was like, just fucking focus on it and just fucking do it. And I ended up finishing it.
Yeah, it's very hard to stay present in what you're doing and not get caught up in other stuff. Like me and John were talking about it. He ran to the gym Thursday, I think it was. And he just kind of looked at me, and I'm like, "You're all right, man?" And he's like, "I'm 11."
He ran to the gym?
He ran to the gym on Thursday. So he did an 8-mile run to the gym. It was
Like
like
in the rain?
7.84.
And then he ran home?
No, his wife picked him
Oh,
up.
thank God.
He jumped on the bike for a little bit.
Yeah, he jumped on the bike just to cool down, but it was
okay.
it was maybe 5 minutes, and he was
Okay.
just loosening his legs up. But I asked him, I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And he's just like, "I fucked up bad doing that run
Yeah.
after that bike
I've
last
been
week."
worried about him
And
for
he's
sure.
like, I think he just got to a point where, and I'm not saying he fucked up bad
No.
or anything like that. I just think mentally, John's been training almost on a full.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was
The
his
fittest
first.
grandpa I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
That was his first.
He
I
is.
said that.
John,
when
a
he
little
was
piece of
leaving.
John was broken there.
Yeah.
In all reality, he was built up, but he in his head, I feel like he thinks he's broken because of what happened.
Yeah.
But he needs to use that as a learning point, because he learns, and he helped me learn so much there.
But I
Because if he
think,
wouldn't have made that fuck up, that would have been me.
but I think here's the thing.
That's how I was with Jason
I
on
think-
his bike.
Yeah, I think we've all now reached. John was the last one to reach that point where he had a fuck up. Like, all of us have fucked something up on this way, and I think that was John's, and now he's like, "Oh shit."
Ego check.
Yeah.
Like, we all need one. I didn't
Like
realize that I had an ego
yeah.
until I
Sometimes
started
you
doing
need that. Sometimes you need that mental kick in the fucking dick that says, "Hey, back it down."
Yeah.
Like you need to calm down for a second, because this isn't healthy, and I noticed he kind of backed off the cross training workouts a little bit more, which is good.
Yeah.
I mean, John's probably smarter than most of us, because he recognized the signs and he backed it down. But when he said, we got so caught up in pace, and he said it started at the I think he said Gibsonburg 10K when Tico bet me. He fucked up so bad trying to run not John Big style.
It fucked his pace
And
up since then. His
fucked-
whole pace
yeah.
since then.
Since then, he's felt like not the runner that he is, which is just go, feel the pace, whatever you feel like going, go. Now he felt like
Carrie, is somebody calling you?
he was trapped on something. So I think recognizing that is going to be huge for him in the long run, because he's going to go, all right. And I noticed today he kind of just
He did the workout.
and he got out of here, and he's
Yeah.
like, all right, we can push the bike if we have to. But I know we were joking around, me, him, and he was talking about a conversation you and him had, and he's like, well, it's going to rain during the Ironman, maybe we should fucking ride. And I'm like, there's a difference between raining in July and raining when it's fucking freezing outside.
It's
And-
cold as hell.
Hailing
Yeah.
this morning.
No, they had
Nice.
ice.
Hail.
They had ice warnings on the fucking bridges. Like, don't forget, it's less than 30 or 40
Yeah.
degrees.
Oh my
This
God.
could be icy. Like, this isn't the time to try. I get it. Last 8 weeks, fucking
Yeah.
ride your bike in the rain,
Right.
suck it up. Now is not the time to do that.
I was gonna do
And
that.
That's where.
Don't do it.
I so
That's
was.
where
I so
you know we all
Just gotta be smart.
we all
Have
joke
time.
around, and
Just-
we're all so passionate about being successful that sometimes we all get in these like fucking stubborn modes where you're like, I'm fucking riding because it's gonna rain in the iron. Yeah, well, I get that, but if you crash and it's done, it doesn't matter that you rode in the rain. You know, so I've caught myself a couple times going, hey, does it really matter? Like last last Sunday, when you guys had done your 13.1 mile run, I was like, yep, I'm gonna fucking get this, whether it's rain or not. I put my shit on, I look outside, big old bolt of lightning, and I'm like, you know, there's mentally fucking tough and there's dumb as fuck. If I walk out this door right now, I'm pretty sure I'm the latter. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go sit my ass on the couch and I'll fucking live to fight another day.
Yeah.
So sometimes you gotta have that ego check that says, let's just be smart with this shit instead of pushing when we don't have to. So I think that's part of the journey, though. Like that's why
When
we're
you're stubborn as fuck.
That's
like
why
all of us,
we're
yeah.
that's why we're documenting this shit, because I've said it before. There's peaks and valleys to all this stuff,
Yeah.
and that's my problem with social media fitness is everybody posts the peaks. Oh my god, I did this great workout and it was awesome, and then you don't see them post again for fucking 6 days because the next 6 days were just
Shit.
getting their asses kicked. But one of the reasons I wanted to do the podcast, one of the reasons we wanted to do the Road to Ironman with JG3 Fitness was to show just how mentally challenging, and I don't even want to call it physically. I think all of us physically could do the Ironman
Oh yeah, we
tomorrow.
can physically do it if we have to. The mental is just
It would just be, I mean, my
living a
asshole.
normal life. I mean, fuck. Even the sponsored athlete over here still has to live a normal life, you know. She still has a real fucking job, career, and shit to do, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaving for, by the time this post, I'll be back so I can say it, but I'm leaving for St. Louis, San Antonio, and Dallas this week. So I'm flying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. I'm literally flying once a day.
Oh,
For me to
that's
get
fun.
any of my fucking training in, it's going to be a motherfucker. So my life is hectic.
Mm-hmm.
In saying that, tomorrow, if you told me I had to do an Ironman 70.3 to get the medal for Joe P, my ass would hurt pretty bad because I'm not used to sitting on a bike that long, but I guarantee I finish.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee I would get it done because I'm a stubborn motherfucker. But it wouldn't be smart. So that's what I was trying to remind myself when I'm having that moment of doubt. And you're looking at yourself in the mirror going, you're a bitch. You didn't do as much as everybody else this week. You got to remind yourself, I can do the swim. We've all done the swim outside of, I think, Jason.
I haven't done the full 1.2,
Okay.
but I've done mile.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've done the swim in 30, what did I do it in? 33, 34
30
minutes, 36
Six
maybe.
or something.
36. And I'm going, okay, so I have just under 8 hours to do everything else.
Yeah,
That's
I think
like
you
a
got it.
fucking 11 mile per hour ride and then like a 3 hour fucking half marathon.
Yeah.
I think I could do it.
Yeah.
Even if I had to get off my bike to stretch my ass out, I could unclip, fucking stretch my ass.
As long as
Get
you learn
back
how
on.
to change the tire.
Yeah. I could
May
probably-
2nd, 8 o'clock
Yeah. But
Really?
At night.
at night.
Do I need to put that in my phone?
Yeah.
That's
Like
set in
May
stone?
2nd at 8.
That's
Shout out to Catherine Miller, gonna come show us how to fucking work a bike.
I'm going to go there today.
Are you?
Yeah, because I'm going to take both the bikes that I have,
And
like,
make
available.
one bike.
No. I'm going to be like,
Combine these two.
combine them.
Use magic.
No, I'm going to be like, okay, is there any way to make either one of these bikes Ironman good? Ready?
Wow, is Jason here?
Me, Lex.
Can you take 2 bike, make good?
Put engine motor on.
Make one good bike. But no, and if they're like, dude, you need a new, like, I just want to.
I just want to watch their face when you say that. They'll be like,
Can you take these 2 bikes and make them one, please? No, but like I have 2 options, and I think that the hybrid one that I have is gonna slow me down, and will make it harder on myself. So if I have to eat up whatever money I need to, because like let's be honest, I'll probably end up doing this again. Maybe not this length, but let's be honest, I'll probably do it again. Then I buy a bike today, and I throw up at how much money it's gonna cost, and then I'm fine and life goes on.
I think they were marking them down the other day.
So I'm gonna go today and just be like, are either one of these, can you make them better? Or like, what do I need for these to make them not suck? And then if they're like nothing, you're fucked. I'll be like, all right, then show me some bikes and shit.
They might be able to just change out the gears. Because I noticed my old bike, one of the reasons I upgraded is that only had, I want to say, 10 gears in it.
See,
So it was
the one
like, I
racing
was
bike
either-
I have
yeah.
is 10.
Yeah. So
And
you're
then
either-
the other one is hybrid, which, I mean, wouldn't be the worst, but
How many gears does that have?
18
Because I
or
think
27.
what do I have?
27.
I think
I don't know how gears
I think
work.
I think ours are 21 or
I don't know
something
what I
like that.
have.
But I
28.
think they're like 21. But I noticed on my old bike it was
Oh, yeah,
I was either working way too hard or working way too like
Yeah,
there
that's
was
how
no good gear to
Yeah,
be.
there's
like,
no
I was
in
either
between.
like pedaling my ass off and my
Yeah.
legs were burning or my RPM was through the roof and I wasn't moving and I'm
Right.
like it would be great to have an in between.
Yeah, that's kind of what
And I
I'm
think that's what if anything, they might change that out.
Isn't most of the course flat anyways? So we're
It
gonna be
is.
in like one gear, right?
Hills,
For
there's
the
wings.
most
There's
part,
not
you know
really-
what though? I watched John when we were on a fucking flat pad, and that fucker's like, doon, doon, doon. I'm like, what is he doing? I never touch my like, I literally start, and,
Like-
and then I like drop the gear, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going way faster, and I'm working like normal.
yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, this is nice. I should have fucking switched gears like fucking 10 miles ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's most of the time. I think we'll be in a single gear, but I've heard there's a couple.
There's a couple little ones.
I've heard the run is a little hillier than.
The run, there's one bigger
like
hill,
that.
and you have to do it twice because that one you do 2 loops.
Yeah.
The run. which
I
is-
noticed though on our 5 mile run, the hill didn't fuck with us at all. It's like
Was that the hill by my house? You
yeah,
said?
yeah.
That
was one of
embrace
them.
the hill.
Yeah.
Fuck the hill. Don't let it fuck you.
Yeah, well,
Well, in the ass.
yeah. I mean, you probably shouldn't make those jokes before ourselves.
That's fucking on every podcast.
But I kind of take,
Asshole.
especially on my runs, I kind of took something that she said: have that 45-degree angle, and don't catch yourself looking up at. Don't get lost in the horizon. That is like, oh shit! Like
That's
I got
how much
long,
farther I have to
But if
go.
I just stay here, I can stay in my head that hey, I'm just a couple more steps.
That's the worst thing
Although,
to do on a
let's
bike.
talk about that fucking twice on our run. One lady, we're off the road, fucking lays on the horn. What the fuck are you guys doing? Kyle's like, fuck you, bitch. And I'm like, whoa, did you like run into the road? And Brian's like, no. I mean, we were literally. I was
on
almost
the
in the grass,
left
and
side
he
of
was
the
like,
white.
yeah,
Like,
we were way off.
I was clearly off the road, and this bitch.
Wait, was this by
just-
my house?
Yeah,
Because,
like,
yeah, those people
literally,
drive stupid.
It was right by the American Legion.
Yeah.
So, like, Kyle's like, fuck you, bitch. But then we hit the top of the hill over here, and we're like booking.
Yeah, we were finishing
We were
our
fucked.
last.
And this
quarter
old lady, I swear, brake checked. I came that close to running into her Lincoln.
mile. She was gonna make an insurance claim for me hitting her car.
Like, and we're like, what the hell is going on? It was like Twilight Zone.
That's the hard part because you time it for them to keep going.
Oh
their pace,
yeah,
and
and
then they stop.
like
and
I backed it down a hair, and I was like, all right, I can clear this. And literally, I backed it down just enough to where I did not hit.
we
a car.
did that.
Like it
You
was
were
like,
you yelled at me, remember? Because I almost ran into that.
Yes! I was freaking out. I was like, she's gonna. Like, I'm running like this. Like, Carrie!
Like, why did they just keep going? It was fine.
The audio just
Sorry.
went,
Sorry. I literally screamed, though, because I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna get hit.
This week on the podcast, the comment is, move the mic away from Lex.
Or to Kyle. Or all right.
Yeah, like, let's just
All
keep,
right in front of
keep
Kyle.
going to Kyle.
Let's talk about how close we had the mic to Magic Mike, and I'm still had the volume as loud as I could. I'm like, what the fuck did he say?
I'm listening to the podcast, driving for work, and like my back of my van's all squeaky. So I got cranked up.
Do that one more time.
It sounds like fucking, yeah, you don't even want to know. But I have my volume cranked, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm about to pull over so I can hear what the fuck's going on. But, yeah, that was an entertaining podcast. That was,
I thought the Lost podcast was really good, but it
I
was
missed the lost.
but
Do you
it
have
was-
the video so I can have it?
no, because the video was the audio was all fucked up on the video too. But the Lost podcast was really good in a different way. We were all in goofy moods. We were joking
Oh, we were
around. We
something
were
that
like,
day.
that was probably the most perverted podcast I've ever done. And then we come back with episode 5, which I'm like, great, we're never gonna fucking top that Lost podcast. Episode 5 was great, but it was in a like that was probably the most serious we've been outside of the whole in Carrie's house thing
Well, yeah.
and peanut butter and
There's a good what Magic Mike said though, not leaving shit on the table though. That was very intelligent and a short statement.
So you're talking about being in the moment. So like that's something this week that I'm pretty sure I probably got on the mic that I think I've gotten past the fear, the anxiety of all of the like movements of it. Like now that I am okay to swim, I went out and I did get on the bike once and I did run the 13 miles. So it's like almost like okay, I know I can do this. Now let's just have fun with it. Figured out like what last week or on that podcast, my why, my motivation, the reason why I'm doing it. So now it's being in the moment where I'm riding or if I'm out running, I'm actually enjoying it. Like I've never once said like, I can't wait to go run or like, let's go for a run. Like that's never.
Yeah, you were like, hey, let's go run after. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, if we're
So
going,
it's
fuck,
like-
I gotta do this. we're doing it for the wrong
Well, and
reason.
that was
It's
the
my
comment.
release now from
Yeah.
life. So you're saying like I'm going 19,000 places a mile a minute. Like I live minute to minute is how my life is. Where now it's like this is my time where I can just do me, be me. Like it's me in the moment, and so it's been enjoyable now. So now I'm having the training is now like instead of being so much anxiety over what it is in the event and like all of that, now it's like it's fun now. So
Yeah.
I'm having a blast with it.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the comments that John made when he was riding the bike the other day, when he was talking about just having fucked up with his run. He made the comment that it feels like a job. And that, being 15 weeks out, that's the dangerous part of the mental game.
Yeah.
When it's, I have to go do this. This is optional. This is not like, I have to go to work. I have to pay. Yeah, I have to fucking go do my job. I have to pay taxes. I have to pay my bills. I shouldn't have to fucking swim. I shouldn't have to bike. I shouldn't have to run.
You gotta run.
I want to.
Corey Lunsford ain't doing this with us, and he said it when we were training at Ross still, when we just started swimming.
Yeah.
He was there with us one time, and he was like, Kyle, this is the fun part.
Yeah.
If you're not, this is what you enjoy. When you go do your fucking Ironman or whatever the fuck you're doing, when you do that, that's just doing it. The fun is everything building up to it. You gotta
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like, fuck, this is so miserable. I gotta do this stuff. No, it should be.
And I'm not saying every run's gonna be great.
No,
I'm not
you're
saying
not.
every swim,
No,
but
not
when
at all.
every time you feel like it's a job,
Then you're doing something wrong.
then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Do you remember back like a couple years ago, or I don't even know, it might have been last year, 2 years ago, when you said, when it was the CrossFit, let's take something and learn something from every workout. Do you remember that? And like that became like, instead of going in and not having a purpose, I would leave each workout and I'd be like, Jay, like I learned this today. Like I learned, and it would be something positive. Or the next day it's like, I learned never to do this. You know what I mean? Like something, whether it was I can do this or this is best for me.
Positive or negative.
Yeah, whatever it is. So now after each of these workouts, it's, whether it is a 2 mile run or, that's a workout, or if it's jump on the bike, like I'm figuring out something, or I'm taking that mindset where I'm learning something. So if you keep learning, it keeps it fun and it keeps it like fresh, you know what I mean? Where it's not a job where it's like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna get this in? I need to get this done. And then you're just going out there and you're doing it to check a box. So if you're doing it to check a box, then you might as well not even doing it.
Right.
You know? So if you're gonna go out there and be like, all right, I'm gonna go do this, let's see what happens and see what I learn, whether it's, I learned that if I don't know, turn the corner, be with nature, whatever it might be, or, if I swim a certain way, or, like, pick something that you can learn from it and share it with the group, so then it's something like we can all hold each other accountable to, be
Not
excited
eating
about
too much
it.
lunch and then
Yeah.
going
So
on
there, you learn.
It's
a marathon run.
Yeah, it's adding to your toolbox. It's expanding your knowledge. It's
When we ran the other day, we were like a mile and a half in, and I started cramping. You heard me start swearing. You knew something was up.
Yeah.
I was cramping bad.
We were going up your hill.
Oh, God, I hate that hill.
Running through cramps is very, very hard. I ran through them once before, and I just finished my run and was still cramping. This run, I actually ran through it and lost the cramps. So
Yeah.
I'd never done that before. I don't exactly know what exactly.
You
how I did
breathe.
it, but
If you remember, I
yeah.
said fucking
Yeah.
breathe.
I got my
The stomach cramps, I try and run and like extend, so like it's not like
Dude, the
tight,
first
stuff
time
like
you and I
that.
ever ran, we did 4 miles, if you remember.
Yeah.
We went at about a 10-minute mile pace.
And I was cramping.
And she was cramping, and like I kept saying, "Do you need to stop?"
I got it.
Like that was when? Was that in
It was
January?
a long time ago.
We ran through. We
It was when we lost the boys because we didn't
Yeah,
pay attention.
we didn't listen to what they were doing, so
Yeah.
we thought that.
Well, that was the crazy thing is if you had been on that run, I was so proud of us because we went 8:45 mile. His cramp mile, we slowed down to an 8:46.
Oh.
And then we went 8:44, and I'm like, we were start joking around about back when we were running a lot for 5Ks. We were running 7-minute miles, and
Yeah.
we were picking up the pace. And I'm like, oh man, it feels good. And he made some smart ass comment about, yeah, how hard do you think it would be to pick it up? And I'm like, well, you change the stimulus completely and it would become miserable because we're comfortable right now at 8:44. Next thing you know, we're both 8:20 and I'm like, God damn it. Here we go. And next thing you know, I look at him and we got like half mile left and I'm like, not yet, buddy, don't you? And then it was like, boom, gone. And I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I am slightly faster than you, Kyle. I can make this hurt for both of us. And then we're both.
Yeah.
I mean, I hit a 5:45 pace before I almost hit the car.
Yeah, we were moving. We were moving so fast. If we wouldn't have kept our legs moving, we were gonna roll down that hill.
Yeah, it was fucking, it was pretty nuts, but it was.
I just wanted to build off something. Is that weirdly enough, working out should make you not hurt.
Yeah.
Like I just like that just kind of clicked in my head. Like, why would you be miserable when you could do something? Like, it's not about being comfortable, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like you can push yourself, but like it doesn't have to hurt.
No, but in saying that, I like those random runs, those random bikes, those random moments where you get hit with that mental challenge where it's like, I can quit or I can push through.
Yeah.
And you have to have those.
Oh, absolutely.
But if you have them every single time for 16 weeks, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
You're going to look back on this experience and you're going to read Lex's blogs or my blogs or this Road to Ironman page that Carrie created, and you're going to see a lot of negativity. Our goal, as we've said, is to inspire people to do something.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be a fucking Ironman. Doesn't have to be, just do something. Whatever you're fucking thinking about chasing in your life, fucking chase it.
Yep.
But if we're miserable and we're spreading misery, people are going to go, why the fuck would you ever do that?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think, like, yeah, we're all going to finish this. It's going to be awesome. But fucking Jason, he's already lost almost 30 pounds. I seen him biking the other day, no joke. I was like, damn, who's this sexy motherfucker? Like, seriously. And I messaged him, and I think he thought I was fucking with him. But no, I like all seriousness. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, what up, bro?
I did that when I swam. I never see anybody when I swim at lunch. And I walk out on the deck, and I'm like, who's the douchebag with the watch? I'm like, because you always see, you can tell who's training for something because they got their big ass watch on. They're like looking at it like this. And I'm like, he starts swimming. I'm like, I know that douchebag. So I was like thinking about fucking cannonballing in him, but I took a moment. I'm like, damn, dude, you look good.
Yeah.
Like, he's already won.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
We talked about this several times. He's already changed his life dramatically by losing 30 pounds. And he's probably going to lose a significant amount more by training more. So he's already, that's the positive message you want to send. It's not, oh my God, I got caught up in the time and all this others. Because let's face it, I met Tim Ellenberger's business partner that does a lot of these Ironmans and things like that. And he's talking about, oh, well, eventually your legs get endurance enough to just push through. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, eventually, like, I get that, but my goal is to finish.
Yeah.
Like, I need to not be thinking about training my legs to be able to push at 18 to 20 mile an hour this year.
Yeah, no.
Like, this year is about finishing.
Yeah.
Because I always go back to Rich Roll's book, where he did his first one, and he was a real good swimmer.
You think you're hot shit coming
and
out
you
of
think
that
you're
water.
hot shit coming out of that water, you get on that bike, and if you push too hard, the bike
fucked.
should be your easy recovery part if you're trying to finish. I'm not saying if you're trying to compete, you should get good at biking. For those of us that are just trying to finish, that bike needs to be eat, drink, make sure I'm good, because I should not be hurting until I start that run. If I'm already in pain and battling cramps in that bike, it's going to be a real long half Ironman.
Yeah. Yep.
I might pull a Carrie and just walk the fucking thing. And then not count it because I didn't run.
I was trying to figure out what the fuck you were talking about. I'm like, what is she even talking? What? Like, did you stop, take a nap? What the fuck do you mean?
Well, yeah.
Yes, this stuff counts.
I might stop in the Ironman, then you better stop dead. Like, the second you stop, you better just stand there like, I'm not taking a step, or it doesn't count.
I mean, if anything, it makes it fucking harder.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you stop, like,
If you stop running,
yes,
it hurts so much more to start.
It's so much harder to start back up.
Oh, it
so much harder.
hurts.
I just got a whiff of
When you
everybody
were-
at this table. We really should podcast before we work out. Because holy shit.
Oh, I smell really bad.
You were
Holy
sick
shit,
dealing
I'm
with your
sorry.
shit.
Actually, no, I'm
A
good.
couple weeks before, fucking, we were all dealing with shit. Like, well, we had like a few pretty long runs in a row that we had to stop for different reasons, and it was like, all right, I'm getting used to this, but it still fucking sucks. You're like, I don't like stopping.
No, it definitely, it's very hard to get going. When I did the marathon, I practiced and trained running and walking. Because again, my research showed if you're not an expert at this shit, you should just pick something and stick with it. Because what happens is, let's say, mentally you say, I'm going to run the entire thing. You hit 18 miles and you have to walk.
Then you're fucked.
And then you're fucked.
Yep.
Yeah, you got 8.2 miles of pure hell. But if you know you might run into that issue, and the people we were training with knew they weren't going to run the whole time, we're like, let's just pick a run walk sequence and train it from the start. So I had a background in running and walking, so I know kind of how I can turn it off, turn it back on. It's something that mentally I've battled in the past, but I trained 26 weeks of doing running and walking. So I'm a little bit better at it, but even in saying that, like, it sucks.
Like my friend and I, who I do my half marathons with, we just, last September we did one in Rocky River, and it became like, we had like baby goals is what we called them. And so like, it was run this far and then we can walk. Run this far and then we can walk. Like, it just like the little tiny goals of, we may only be walking for like a tenth of a mile or something like that, but it's just enough to like keep moving without wanting to die.
We went on time domains. I had it set up on the watch that I actually had Kyle using before he got his new one, and it would literally beep every 5 minutes to walk for one.
And I figured out how to change that. Can't figure it out.
But that was our thing, was now we talk about one more step. Back then it was one more 5 minute. I can do anything for 5 minutes. Hit 22 miles, I'm not able to do anything for 5 minutes. I could do it for 2, and then it became run 1, walk 5.
Yep.
And it was insane how hard that got. GoPro's about to die.
Oh, okay.
It's all right. I'll just fade it, the audio, and fade to black. But anyway, walking helps you catch your breath, though. When you're cramping really bad, you have to kind of back it down sometimes.
On the way back, me and John caught ourselves walking, run. We're like, all right, we're going to run to that stop sign. We hit that stop sign, we're going to walk halfway to the next one, run to it, and we fucking got it done. It wasn't pretty, but we got it done, and like, I learned so much from that with everything, and I started cramping myself and then I learned from that too that, I started cramping because I took a cadence that I was good and really comfortable at and backed it down and didn't back my breathing, I didn't sync my breathing with that.
Well, it's just like we talked about on a run. You change the stimulus.
Yeah.
You went from running nonstop where you were comfortable to now I'm mixing and matching. And you change the stimulus, which changes your breathing, which changes your muscle memory and all that other stuff. So it's one of those things and that's why I think it's important to practice triathlons.
That's the kind of shit we want to learn now.
Because you want...
Not when we're out
like,
there.
That's what I'm saying.
70.3 miles.
You might find, again, if your goal is to cross the finish line and get a medal, you might find the smartest thing for me to do is to run walk this. Or my smartest thing to do is to, on the bike, I notice I will do like 10 hard strokes and then I'll coast and I'll kind of stand up, stretch my legs, or like when I get tired. You'll find that thing that becomes repeatable in your mind where you can go, all right,
I can do this.
I can do this. I can do this. I can,
achievable.
You have to find that way of what makes sense for me. Because it's going to be different for Lex, it's going to be different for you, it's going to be different for Carrie, it's going to be different for John, it's going to be different for Jason. But that's
Holy
why
shit, there are 6 of us that are doing this.
That's why I said it. In saying that, Jason's probably the only one that's actually training his own way. All of us are trying to keep up with the others, and we're going. I personally am not a run nonstop person. I'm like, fucking, if I have to walk, I have to walk.
I'm training my own way.
Yeah.
I'm like off on my own.
Yeah. But you just said you two are competing with each other. Jason's the only one that I know.
competing with Carrie.
Okay.
No, I said that I felt like I don't get enough training in by seeing how much training you guys do. I mean, I haven't altered what I do because of it. It's just I felt like I wasn't getting enough. I mean, for me, I was thinking about it like it might be a curse, it might be a blessing, but all of my training, most of it is done by myself when I can get it done. So like when I can go out and run, like I don't run with you guys. I've never once biked with you guys. Like
I've only biked by myself.
That's a big reason.
So it's like it might be a blessing, it might be a curse because having like you guys where you're with me, I can learn off of it. We can like motivate each other, things like that. But when we're going to be out on the course, I am going to be by myself. So right now I'm training to be in my own mind. And so that's where I think I'm finding a lot of like my ahas, my getting in touch with myself, motivating myself, like having fun with it and finding like what's my positive, what's my negative, what did I learn today, because it's just me and I'm out there doing it.
I think two things. One, it could be beneficial to you as long as you're not addicted to the music, because you're not allowed to use that on the course. But two, it could backfire on us because we're so used to having people that when we're by ourselves, it could fuck with you and go.
That's what I've been telling, like, because the fact, I've run 8 half marathons before, but I've always run with somebody. Mm-hmm. Like, I have never run that far by myself. The most I've ever run by myself, I think, was 8, and that was in graduate school. Mm-hmm. So the fact that she was so worried about, and like saying before, she was so dependent like on other people, and now she's gone 13.4 by herself. Mm-hmm. And so then I thought to myself, how the hell am I going to go 13.1 even though I've done it a bunch of times, but how am I going to do it by myself? I
think the good thing, if there is a good thing from that, is there's going to be other people on the course.
Yeah.
It's going to be very hard, in my opinion. I could be way off, but you're going to see volunteers, you're going to see spectators, people, you're going to see other competitors. There's not going to be a lot of time where you're just silent by yourself.
And see, none of us have done this. This is a first for all of us. But from what I'm hearing, simply talking to the few people that I have, this is like a brotherhood, like or brother sister, whatever you call it.
It's brother.
But like people are gonna be there, fucking.
It should be Iron Woman, damn it.
Whether they know you or not, they're gonna be there. Yeah. Like, all right, come on, you're not quitting. Push your fucking, pick your shit up. Let's go. You know.
And I think that's where I hope our mentality carries over, and not being a triathlete, so to speak. Mm-hmm. We're so used to encouraging people that I hope if we're passing people, we say the same fucking shit to them. You know what I mean? Like, don't.
Our 10K, this guy's walking, and so like I'm running past, like we're running past.
We're
and
it's the windy stretch out.
And I was like, you got it, like keep going. And then he sprints past us a little later, and then he starts walking again. And I'm like,
he sprints past us. He's like, this is fucking stupid or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, don't say good job.
And so then we just kept running, and then we beat him, because then I wanted to beat him because he was going to
like, don't worry, be happy.
It's like, you got it.
Yeah, so I'm like, heaven forbid I ever be positive to anybody.
But I think that the training, if it's by yourself, if it's with other people, the mixtures,
the balance,
what matters. The balance.
Like the long distances, I'm with you, because I don't always have some days I don't get to fucking train at all. So when Saturdays, Sundays, if I have 3 or 4 hours, I'm gonna try and hit that fucking long distance. Mm-hmm. Probably not the smartest doing it every week, all the time. Mm-hmm. Because I'm gonna find a better cadence, breathing wise, pace, and everything with shorter distances, which I'm learning this through the group.
Well, I think what you gotta think of is, and this was a conversation me and you had yesterday. I think is I get so, I don't say annoyed, pissed off, frustrated. I don't know what the word is, but every time someone says, "I didn't even get to work out today. All I did was bike." That's your fucking workout. Like,
I just did that.
I think that's what brought on. He's like, all I wanted to do was work out. I'm like, you just did 2,500 yards swimming. That's harder than anything I had programmed today.
Well, I haven't got to do JG3
squats yet. I get that, but there's gonna come a point over the next 12 weeks that's gonna have to be your workout. You're gonna have to make a choice on some days. Do I come to the gym or do I ride a 45-minute ride? Because you can always find 45 minutes to an hour to get something done. Mm-hmm. So
that's what I did Tuesday.
So do I have the time to do both, or do I need to make time and just go do my quick ride?
Yeah. See, and that's what you told me, because I went to the 6 o'clock and we lifted. We did squats, so 6 a.m. in the morning. And then I did...
You went to the 6 a.m.?
Yeah.
I did. I actually did not have my kids, so I came to the 6 a.m.
You woke up that early?
She was on time for the first time ever.
I told Eric that I would be at the 6, so he said that he was going to come in at the 6 before work. And trust me, I had 4 alarms set. I hit snooze for 40 minutes. I was like, I don't want to get up. Like, I am not a morning person. So I walked in and they were like, good morning. I'm like, yeah. But I told him that I was going, so that was my accountability. So I showed up. So I went to the 6 a.m. I went home. I took a nap. Had to get on a call for work, and then I biked in the living room on the assault bike. I did 20 miles on that, and then I told Jay that I was going to go swim. I'm like, I kind of feel like running. He was like, well, then run. I was like, but I need to swim more. She's like, you really don't need any of it. Like, you've already done enough. I'm like, well, no, I need to. So I have the time. So for me, I didn't work out Sunday. I didn't do anything Sunday, anything Tuesday. Ironman wise, I didn't do anything Monday.
Well, and that's what changed when she told me that. I'm like, all right, you had your 2 days off. Like,
Yeah.
Complete 2 days off.
That's fine.
Life just was not in the cards for me. And so I was like, I'm going to go swim. And I was like, here, I'm going to try and just work on continuous moving.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to have a set goal where it's like, I need to swim the 1.2 miles. You know, I'm just going to try and move and just try and keep it continuous. It ended up, I got out of there. I'm like, oh my God, that was the best thing ever. I'm so glad because I had 2 people in there that are swim coaches that were like, hey, are you training for a triathlon? I'm like, yeah. And the lady was Brody's swim coach when he was a baby, so she's doing the same one.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah. So
That's funny.
they were like, can we help you? So they were just giving me all these techniques
yeah,
and
you
stuff
can.
like that. Yeah. So
I got some friends too, you know.
I think I ended up doing like a 200 yard, and I was super excited because I ended up doing that, and that was the furthest I've ever gone, but like continuous.
Mm-hmm.
So I was super excited. Then they were helping me. I did like another 200 with them. They left, and I ended up finishing with a 1,500 yard swim. But them helping me and just critiquing like a little bit, I just kept going, and I went from like a 2:33 minute like 100 yards down to like a 1:15 to 1:30. I was like, holy shit, they just, some little techniques just cut that way down. I was not exhausted. I didn't even feel like miserable and like I was drowning and like gasping for air. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just kept going, well, it was open swim. Do not go during open
Yeah,
swim.
no, you don't go during open
Oh
swim.
my gosh, there was children everywhere.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're like jumping on me and I'm like diving.
Children, old people.
But that was like oh my gosh, this was so much fun. Like, I've enjoyed this because I just keep learning.
Do you remember the
keep
first
learning.
time you went and swam with me?
I wouldn't even walk out of the locker room.
She wouldn't even I couldn't even leave the locker room until she got there.
You guys don't understand the demons in my head
Yeah.
are massive.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that I'm so like, just I get it all. Like, my head is very negative. I have a lot of doubt. I have
Well, and again, I think that's why this
scared,
is
like,
beautiful.
Really
This
good
is
at covering
beautiful.
it all
Yeah, I
up.
think that's why that's beautiful
Oh,
that
yeah.
we're documenting the journey the way we are, because you're going to see the real truth about some of us that might look like we have it all together, and in reality, none of us have anything together.
I got
But to touch on something real quick there, and this is where John, you, and Tivo got a little bit more of an advantage because we were swimming a lot more at the beginning at Ross before we moved to the Y. When you're think about running, it's natural for all of us now, and when we get longer distances, we figure out that cadence and that breathing, and you're like, okay, I got this down, and you figure out the 45-degree angle and you know how to breathe. For me, it's so natural. You gotta lengthen everything out. When people get tired swimming, they start to shorten their strokes real quick, and they like turn, and you got to do the elongate everything. Exaggerate turning your head. Get that good breath. Bring it back. The longer you go. When I get tired, I go from 15 strokes per 25 to like 12.
See, and you say lengthen it out, so I'm like, okay, like,
Yeah. No, that's what you do.
like I did not
But you
understand,
lengthen it out, but you want to go slow.
but there was
I do
like,
the same thing. Like,
they taught me where it's like they had me put something in between my legs, and it was like I had to rotate with my
use your
hips,
hips, yep.
and it was bringing my elbow up. Where they were like, "You're just doing like this," where it's like an elbow out, and your hand needs to stay like in
ankles.
front.
You don't want to
And
splash.
what happens big time is people go here and they don't.
Keep going.
He
They
was
don't
like,
flip.
he's like,
Yeah.
this is what makes you go, and
Yeah.
your feet are little kicks, and it's like every 3. And I mean, they were like just little things where he's like, you need to like almost zip up a zipper with your hands. Shit that I had no idea.
I don't know. if
How
it
about
was
this? When you
were-
turn and you go back, a lot of people go straight.
That's how
you
I
want,
fucked it up.
You want to
Right there.
pull.
That's what I'm saying,
You want
like-
to pull to your midsection and then use your hip to pop it over.
Yeah, because he was like, your thumb kind of comes
yeah.
right by your leg and it rolls up. But
There's
once he
little-
was doing that, I mean, like how much work I was doing by just trying to figure it out on my own compared to just a little bit of technique, like it helps so
If
much.
you look at good swimmers, and sorry for those of you listening, you're not going to see my hand, and we're done with YouTube for right now. But you actually will notice their head stays still and their shoulders just go back and forth because they're really exaggerating that full body turn. And you're like, but think about a clean, a snatch, a muscle up. It's all in your hips, right? Same thing with swimming. The more I use my hips to move side to side, the more I'm transferring that energy from one stroke to the next. But if I stay flat, which is what non-experienced swimmers do, and they just go like this.
See, and I
You're
was,
just
I was
you're
rotating
just-
my shoulders, but
yeah.
my hips were staying the same.
Yeah.
So like having them put that thing and I'd squeeze it in between my knees, and it made me actually rotate and stuff. It was like it was night and day, like on the feeling and stuff. I'm like, all right. So then, and I noticed when I would get tired the day before, my butt would drop. So I'm like set that right back up, like.
Yeah.
You know, and then you just shorten everything, which is, I think it's natural. But, and then she ended up telling me, she was like, count how many strokes you go down and keep that. And then, you know, I'm like, when you get comfortable in it and stuff like that, I'm like, that's a great idea too, you know, like, it's like counting your rests in CrossFit, like, drop, count 3 seconds, and then pick it right back up to keep your rest periods the same, keeping your strokes the same. But that little bit, it made me really, really excited. Like, I was pumped when I got out of there. I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, I was like, oh my God, I just swam and I didn't get tired, and this is crazy.
I can be a fitness shit.
Yeah, the funny thing for me is I know back when TiVo was swimming with us all the time, he's like, so how do you use your legs? I'm like, bro, I'm training for an Ironman. I'm not using my fucking legs to swim. And he's like, but how do you? I'm like, I'm a distance swimmer, bro. I've never used my fucking legs. Like, that's
Keep
just,
using
I'm
them, keep
so,
your ass up.
I
That's fine.
flutter just to
Yeah,
keep
that's-
like, I literally
That's pretty
swim
much
mostly with
where
my
I'm at.
arms, and I'll just flutter just enough to keep my head above the water. But, so I'm a bad example on how
I
to
see
use your
fucking
legs.
people next to me in this pool, like, just zooming by me. And I'm like, damn. Like, I want to get, like, pulling.
Yeah, it's,
Okay, so I need to rotate my hips more.
Yeah.
So like I said, I was so excited when I got done because I'm like, it has to be your shoulder. It has to be something where we can just like mess with your form that might take that pressure off of like how you're using your shoulder.
Ooh, that was my neck.
Oh,
Damn.
that was crazy. I think that is very important when you get back to swimming is
Monday.
fool around with what hurts and or what causes the pain and what doesn't. Maybe working around
Nothing hurts right now.
which
so
doctor
loud.
worked.
The
Fucking
fucking
wizard.
squatting back or barefoot, that's helped tremendously on my ankles.
Oh, yeah.
That's one.
It's like that's where
So much on me so far. So
that's where I think a lot of people. I don't remember who I was talking to. Someone was dealing with. Jason was like, "Man, my plantar fasciitis is so bad right now, or my heel or my ankle." I'm like, "Take off your shoes." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "We use shoes way too much. Like, I'm not one of these barefoot minimalist runner people. Like, I'm not one of that. But strengthen your feet. Like, I noticed I've not worn like the issues are almost all gone. But feeling it's a totally different
I need to try
stress level on your heels, your Achilles, all that. Like, you have to actually,
a lot of people become reliant, especially like lifters and shit.
yeah.
And I've been lifting with Magic Mike on Tuesdays, and fucking, he can put up some weight, but just simply having like lifting barefoot, sometimes it's like, man, I don't have my lifters. Maybe I lift that much. You got him sitting
But
there.
just
You
wait
got
until
this.
you put them back
But
on.
that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
But right now, I think it's that's the ego part that gets in the way. Is so many times you sit there and you're like, I got to keep up with my old numbers, and then you're going, I fucking biked and ran way more than I
So
normally
that's what I
do.
did last week. I did
So-
the bench, and then I came in and I squat. But with Morgan, I think we did like 10 at 185 or something like that, and then we had to do 7 or 5 back squats. I think I had 125 on the bar, and I was like, not happening, done.
Yep.
Calling it a day, and I texted that. I'm like, the goal is the Ironman right now, so I'm listening to my body,
And
and
it's hard
that's
to
where it's
stay
at.
focused.
It's
It's so hard.
no,
'Cause
it's-
we
You
all
just have to-
love fucking doing what we do.
We do. I mean, you can
But-
still do the workout, but if it's not, if your body is not into it, if you're trying to say, like, I have to hit this because that is a percentage, or I have to run 12 miles today, and your body is saying,
I
no, you're
haven't
not,
hit an
then you
80% back squat, like doing 80% back squat. I haven't done that since we did
you
it at
need
the
to
very
listen
beginning.
to your body. I
'Cause I'm
mean,
like,
whether it's
hitting heavy squats isn't gonna do shit.
whether it's CrossFit, whether it's the Ironman, whether it's just life, you need to listen to yourself, or you're going to risk injury. I mean, coming from me, it's probably like
Holy
a
shit.
holy hell.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So
I've
she
been through
means
it.
it.
Yeah, like I've been through it where it's like I have to do this just because people think that
You have to keep up with
it's-
the Joneses. Is
Yeah,
what,
it's
is
like,
what it boils
you're-
down to. I
people
got to keep
think
up
you
with
need to do
you.
this, and their expectation is this, and it's like, well, I had this last time, so I have to do it no matter what. Like, if it's not in your cards, then you chalk it up. It is what it is.
If you-
last time we didn't max out on cleans.
Mhm.
I think I did like whatever the workout was at like 185 or something, and then we had to max out, and I couldn't get past 155.
Yep.
Well, it's not today, so I'm not going to risk an injury just because it's just not my day.
I think if you follow a lot of the ex-athletes and you realize the sacrifices they made on their body, like there are some, I know Rich Froning's the big CrossFit guy. If you realize how fucked up that dude's knees are, look at Josh Bridges is on like his 4th knee surgery. Like there is a cost to doing that level of fitness. And I posted an article yesterday. I don't know if anybody read it. The actual cost.
Yeah, I read that.
Of an athlete that makes the CrossFit Games. CrossFit is a bunch of assholes.
$3,000 just for the hotel, or
Yeah, no, CrossFit doesn't give them anything.
Yeah.
They make them pay to compete in the CrossFit Games. So it was like, what was the weekly total? It was like something like $10,000 or some
like
shit like that
food,
for
like
an
your
athlete.
food and the hotels
They get
and-
nothing.
Yeah.
So
Well, 'cause
unless
then
you're
they
Rich
said, too,
Froning, unless you're Matt Frazier, unless
right,
you're one of
because
those
they
big
said
athletes,
like the Wadapalooza or something, like if you like winners like 25,000 and then 15.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying you got to
Yeah.
pay to get certified.
Yeah.
Like,
But like then after that,
certification's
like
cost, which-
you'd have to win. I think it said like you'd have to podium 4 or 5 events just to make a living,
yeah,
and you're not always going to podium all those events.
No, unless you're Matt Frazier, but
yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean, this thought that because you have so many Instagram followers or so many Facebook followers, you're reining in money outside of maybe 4 or 5 CrossFit athletes. Most of them
Don't
are
make
having
shit.
and then they are left with broken ass bodies. And you know, you got to ultimately go, what is my end goal in this? Yeah,
but some who love doing
No,
it.
I get
just like anything,
Yeah.
comedians, anything.
Yeah, I
If
get-
they love it, then do.
yeah, I get loving it, but you gotta like Matt Chan's a guy I follow a lot on Instagram. He's had so many injuries, and he literally just stepped away. Said, "I'm done." And you watch him train now, and it's more of a control,
Functional.
and he looks so much more fun. That's why I love watching the guys from Thunderbro, Dave Lipson, Andrew Charles, were former competitive, and they just do lightweight pump sessions now. But they've learned how to transfer over to what makes my life better.
That's what I like about like Cassandra. I think posted something about it, like functional, like
Yeah.
the functional fitness, like focusing on this every day. She posted something about like being able to do her gardening. Like, yeah, she
Yeah.
worked out in the morning, but now she's able to carry these big things of mulch and these big things of dirt and stuff like that. And just because of all the work she's done before, and it's not hurting her like it used to. So I
Yeah.
just think that stuff, like, is cool just for a better
Robin
quality
was
of
just
life.
talking about
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, Rob,
She ran
yeah,
her first.
Robin was
Yeah,
too.
Robin ran her first 400, and she's been coming here a little over a year.
Yeah,
She's like, I used to go to bed every night and
her knees
like
would hurt.
pain as a 10. She could not sleep. Like laying in bed hurt. And she was like, I'm sleeping. I can squat. I can do it.
Yeah.
I like lost all this weight.
She
like
She picked up that 80
she
pound
picked up an
D-ball.
80-pound
Fucking-
D-ball.
I was
She
like,
did. She
I was
did.
telling her,
That's
like,
awesome.
she was in my store and she had her grandbabies in there, and I was like, why don't you guys come down here? You probably won't believe Grandma right here is like lifting an 80-pound
She
ball.
was
up to
booking those
door.
200s the other
Her
day. She
grandchildren
was
were like,
booking it.
Nuh-uh. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you got a badass grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the stories that give you, you just.
Like, you notice we all just started
Yeah,
smiling when
it's
we
like-
just talked about that. Like,
As a coach, as the person that started this for reasons like that, like
Yeah.
the goosebumps you get from hearing stuff like that. Like literally, I was across the gym and she's like, "Jay, I ran my first 400. I got the fuck up and walked over to
Yeah.
her." And I'm like, I'm so excited to hear
Yeah.
this story because it's like that's real life. That impacted her. day-to-day
Cassandra ran
life.
2,200, and like Lisa, I know, is getting back into running too, and like trying to run more, and like just the fact that they're doing it, and I just think
It's
been-
amazing,
it's
but
good.
that's where we got to get better as a whole. Everybody at this table, everybody doing Ironman, everybody in the gym, understanding your body and knowing when
Oh, yeah.
to push and when not to.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be, I have to check this off.
Yeah.
I have to do a 30-mile ride
Well, that's
today.
when it becomes the job.
That's when it becomes a job. Is I get to. And there's times where you get out on the bike and you're like, I should alter the plan. But all of us have egos and we're like, I'm not
I
altering the
fucking hate
plan.
alternating plans.
I hate altering the plan more than anybody, but at the same time, I know how to build people up for stuff. And,
Yeah.
and if you trust the program from May 12th through July 14th, and then we're going to taper back, you will be more than ready for the Ironman.
I'm ready.
I promise you that.
let's go.
Anything to plug?
If you go to
Done already.
nosurrendergear.com, and you use the promotion code Mayle15, MAYLE15, you can get 15% off
Boom.
all of your no surrender gear needs. Get a bag.
Get a swim bag, a gym bag, a work
A work bag. A
Join the
sleepover
pack.
Bag.
Join
Join
the
the pack.
pack.
Hashtag. Yes.
I'm going to plug May 11th. Hayes Presidential Center Kids Obstacle Course Race brought to you by JG3 Fitness. We're going to finalize the details on that soon. It's going to be a great time. I know Kyle wrote out a bunch of things. We're excited about some.
Caveman can use computer.
Yeah.
What?
Caveman printed out an entire presentation. We handed it to Hayes. They were excited about it. We're looking forward to that.
That's
going to
gonna
be
be
a blast. August 17th, mark your dates. The first ever Joe Pemberton Fitness, Food, and Fun Festival. We're going to have competition, kids stuff, possible concert by Steven Johnson. We're going to have some vendors
Oh,
there.
another plug. Stephen Johnson, his new single is on iTunes, Lost and Found. SJ, not Stephen Johnson, so SJ.
SJ, Lost and Found. His new EP drops May 4th. Journey of the Lost or Journey for the Lost.
Music video.
There's a music
videos.
video.
Probably gonna be out by the time this comes out, but make sure you follow Journey with SJ on Instagram, Facebook, all
It's
the
fire,
social.
B.
Yeah.
Shit's fire.
It's great.
If you need anything crocheted, you can follow Hooked by MJ. What else we got?
We got the best pizza in town.
With Fort Ball. Thank you, CR Juices, as
Oh, we didn't
normal.
mention CR Juices at
Now
all.
we did.
Now
Do we got anything else? I
Take
feel like we.
take 2 bites in, come out with one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Spoke Life. Thank you. Hold on, I got another
we
one.
did get a proof from our first proof of the custom jerseys
Yes,
we're having
by
made.
that company, which
I
is.
don't know who the fuck that is. Actually.
Okay.
It was through Spoke Life, but I'm not sure who the
Hold
fuck.
on, one more. I got
So-
one more.
We got a lot of big
Thank you,
things this
Verizon, for bringing us Carrie and Magic
And
Mike.
Eric.
And
We're getting carried
I
away
think
with the
that's
plugs now at this point, but
We have a lot going on.
in all seriousness, August 17th, we're going to raise some money for Joe's daughters, Elena and Taylor. I'm actually planning on, I think I have dinner with them tonight. We're going to shoot a
plug
video.
in for Margaretta softball. Good job. Good season so far.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
But August 17th, we'll have more details out soon, but we're going to have competition. We're going to have a lot of fun celebrating Joe. That's it. Thank you very much for joining us this week at the Road to Ironman with JG3 Fitness, where I can't doesn't exist.
Hell yeah.